So this is my first visit in this beehive this year. There have been some warmer days, but this is the first really good day, in my opinion. We've had a very cold February, but you can see lots of bees going in with pollen on their legs, which means the queen is in there actively laying. And what I want to do is to try to make a split. So I wanted to show you all an easy way to make a split. So first I'm going to pop on the front door at the front door, which is a way of knocking and saying I'm coming in. We're going to pop the top. The hive has a feeder on it. It's just got sugar in it, pure sugar. The mountain camp method is what they call that. So we're going to remove that feeder. They don't need it. The red maple started blooming and other things are starting to bloom. So we're going to remove hive box and we're going to take up the sugar container. I'm going to put it right here. And now we're going to take off the inner cover and see what life is like in this hive. So I'm going to let you all look. They're drawing wax. See, there are plenty of bees in between all those frames, and there's new wax on those last two frames. I had to rubber band a lot of this in the early part of the fall to help them learn how to color inside the line. Now what I'm going to do is put a hive drape on top of this box because I'm going to take that whole box off. It's more than likely honey. Oh yeah, and I have this big wrap on the hive that I put on. I had a theory I was trying this year, and every hive in my yard that I put this on lived through the winter. We're going to take off the wrap. And then we're going to get this particular box off of the hive. Okay, this is what their honey should be in, and they have plenty of honey. Wow. Not a hive that's low on stores at all. And good for them for making it through the winter in that kind of good shape. What I want to do is to set up the kind of split that you do with a queen excluder. To do a split with a queen excluder, what you want to do is take the 5 frames that you want for your split, shake and brush all the bees off of them, and put them in an empty box that I have over here. Then after we've collected all the frames we need for the split, we'll put a queen excluder on the top of the hive and set that box on top of the queen excluder and close the hive up. And overnight what will happen is nurse bees will come up to take care of the eggs and brood that are in the split that we made, and in the morning you have a nice great box to be your split with plenty of bees in it because they will have come up to keep the brood warm overnight. So it's a painless way to do a split. You're assured you're not getting the queen pretty much because of the queen excluder, and because you brush all the bees off. So we should be okay. And then I'm going to take it to my daughter's house where we have a hive that died over the winter to replace it with this split. And you have to do it first thing in the morning because the bees that are nurse bees will not all stay up there the next day. And the first thing we're going to do is look at some of the frames in this box and see if they look like what we want for our split. So as usual, I'm starting with the second frame from the outside of the hive. So I'm going to loosen it up with my hive tool at each end to break the propolis. Now this is a brood frame. It has capped worker brood on this side. On this side it has also capped worker brood. So what we want to see is, are there any eggs in here? So here's the frame, one side, and here's the other side. And I'm now going to look at it with the sun behind me. There's tiny baby brood in here, lots of eggs. This would be a great frame to take for our split. So we got to get all the bees off of it so that we can put it in the split box. Now I'll make sure the queen isn't on here before I give this a good shake. Okay, I don't see the queen anywhere. I'm going to shake these bees down into the hive. And then I'm going to brush any other bees that happen to be left. This is like the perfect frame for a split. I'll put it down in here, put the top over it, and cover this up. So we want to have 2 frames of brood for this split. We're going to put a frame in there in a minute, but not right now. Right now we want to look at this box a little bit more. See if we can get a second frame of brood for this split from this box. So again, I'm going to break the propolis. Oh, look at all the drone brood. Wow. We won't take this one because we don't need tons of drone brood in our split, but there's tons of drone brood on that side. And this side also. Drone brood on both sides. They are working to make sure that all the queens in the drone congregation area will be able to find mates. Now I see the next one has got worker brood on it, so we're going to look at it. Another just solid brood comb. Brood comb, brood comb. It's all worker brood comb, which is great. I want to see eggs. Definitely eggs on this one. We're taking this one. So I shake all the bees off of it that I can, and I brush the ones that are left. I'm going to put a frame with a little bit of comb in it right here in the middle because it'll be warm and it'll inspire them to draw comb quickly. Here's a good frame of drawn comb from my freezer. It's got brood comb on it from last year. So I'm going to use it to fill the last space that we're leaving. I'll put it right here next to the wall. I want to see if there's any pollen, so we're going to just check the second frame. If there's not, we'll just get honey out of the top box, and that'll be our split. So let's look at this one. This one has pollen, so I'll let y'all see. See all the different colors of pollen up in there? Yay, pollen. So I want to shake this one back into the hive and put a frame in its place. We're going to put them up. It's an old frame, not very pretty, but we're going to put it in the place of this box where they're not using the box for much of anything. Now what we need, the next thing we need for our split is a frame of honey, really to put on either side of it. So we'll put these frames in the middle, 2 frames of brood and 1 frame of pollen. And then we'll look for honey in the top box to put on as food for them. So let's see what we can find in the 2 frames closest to the other side of the box. So this frame has nectar and pollen on it, but not honey. A lot of nectar though, that might be good enough. It may be that nectar is the way to go. It looks like that might be what they have in here. Now let's see about this. We're going to take this one because it's got some nectar in it, and we'll feed these bees when we get them there, which would be a good thing to do. So that's the new plan. So we're going to shake this frame over the hive itself. We have our split. There are a few bees in there, but it doesn't matter because we're going to put the queen excluder on the top of the hive, and there will be a way for them to get back down in the box. I'm going to replace those 2 frames I just took with 2 empty frames that are coated with beeswax. They'll be easily able to make their own honeycomb and keep going with life. And it's a good time of year to do exactly what I just did. So here it goes back. Not as heavy as it was, but still pretty heavy. Okay. There it goes back. And now what we're going to do is shake these bees back into the hive that are on the inner cover. See, there are a number of bees on the inner cover, and we're going to shake them back into the hive like this. And then what we're going to do is take our queen excluder and put it on top. There's a chicken feather from my chickens that came in here somehow or another. So we're going to put a queen excluder right on top of this box. And then we're going to put our box that's put together for the split on top of the queen excluder. And what this means is that bees from inside the hive can come up and take care of the bees in the split, but not the queen. So now I'm going to put the top back on the hive, make sure the queen isn't one of these bees, and she's not. And tomorrow morning, this hive will be, the new split will be ready to go to its new home. Hi everybody, it's morning. It's time to move our split from out of the hive into the car to take it to where it's going to live for the rest of its life. First, I want to make it easy to close the entrance. So I'm going to start with the bottom board, which is right here, and I'm going to go ahead and staple so I'm going to start by stapling the screen to the bottom board. I hate the staple gun. I'm going to staple the screen wire. It's not really wire, but I'm going to staple the window screen that's going to block the entrance to the bottom board so that I can quickly staple it to the box once I get the box up on here. I don't want the entrance to be open. I want the bees to be enclosed. So now that that's done, it's time to lift the box over to this. So now our plan is to move this top box, which is our split, onto this bottom board and strap it up and take it to its new place. So I'm going to make it easier on myself. I've blocked the top entrance, so I'm going to not lift that up and just lift the box. Oh, that's much easier. Okay. Now I want to, as fast as possible, close the entrance. I'm so bad with the staple gun. It shouldn't take anybody this many staples to shut this thing, but it takes me this many because I'm terrible at it. Okay, all right, the bees are in here. The top is, I've taped down the wire screen that I put over the top for transportation, so they have some ventilation. And what I'm going to do, because I'm old and I don't want to carry a heavy top with me, and the hive I'm going to already has all the things, the top and all of that it needs. Instead of a top for transportation, I'm just going to put a hive drape over this hive and strap it so that the inner cover will be the top that's holding it all together. Okay, that's good and tight that way. Okay, this feels very stable and sturdy, and now the split is ready to go. Now, if you were an OLD like me, you could leave the hive top on here for carrying, but this is going to work it better for me getting it to my car safely. When I did this last year, I fell holding the bees, ended up on my knees. I never dropped the bees, but I don't want to do that this year, and so I wanted to make it less heavy, and I'm being much more careful. So, all right. That's how you make a split with a queen excluder. Thanks for joining me for this making a split with a queen excluder, and good luck trying it yourself. It's a great way not to take the queen.